Hello and welcome back to Polestar Driver. This week I had the pleasure of doing a trip from West Sussex up to just south of Stratford upon Avon. On the way there it was probably one of the worst driving conditions I've seen in a while, but in the Polestar 2 it was a pleasure and we had no issues. On the way there I decided not to use motorway services charging points, so I found some chargers that were just off the M40, and this one here is Instavolt in Banbury, where they have 8 chargers. So on the way there it was roughly 130 miles. It took me 2 hours 20 to get there at an average speed of 58 miles per hour, and the consumption was 34 kilowatt hours per 100 miles. On the way back I stopped again at the Instavolt in Banbury to do a quick top up, and I spent a short time there, got a coffee, and then I was on the move again. It was only pushing 75 kilowatts to the car, and the battery level at that time was 45%. I did notice the dashboard in the car was showing a charging rate of 170 miles per hour, and if you watch the battery level it actually goes up from 57 to 58%, but the range in the top right said 100 miles when I started, and by the time I finished charging it still said 100 miles. That number only updated after I started driving again. Leaving Instavolt in Banbury, we found that the roundabout to the M40 South was closed for roadworks, so that we had to go north on the M40 for 10 miles and then back another 10 miles before we could continue our journey home. As a result, the battery level to get all the way home was pretty close to zero. Well, Google Maps was actually reporting 0, but the car was reporting probably about 10 miles left, so I decided to stop in High Wycombe at this Shell garage. So using the Shell Recharge app and RFID card, I charged here. This is part of the Shell Recharge network, and you can download the app called Shell Recharge, and from the app you can also order an RFID card, which is much easier to use than any of the apps that they provided. So we stopped here for a short burst, and we actually were getting over 100 kilowatts charge into the car, which resulted in us staying only 7 minutes at this charge point. The charge level of the car at that time was 39%. So 7 minutes later we were on our way again and completed the journey. So here you can see the return journey was 127 miles, 2 hours and 4 minutes, average speed of 64 miles per hour with a consumption rate of 37.4 kilowatt hours per 100. So here we can see a summary of my 2 trips that day. So the first one going there, we averaged 34 kilowatt hours per 100 miles, which is the equivalent of 2.9 miles per kilowatt, and assuming we have a usable battery of 73 kilowatt hours, that gives us a range of 214 miles. On the way back we averaged 37.4, which is equivalent of 2.7, and an assumed range of 195. The third row on that table shows a similar trip that I did previously along the M25 M40, where it was much warmer that day and no rain, and there we got 31.1 and 3.2 miles per kilowatt hour with a range of 234. Down the bottom here you can see the charging. So the first one on the left was the Instavolt charge, where it showed you we started off just under 75 kilowatts and quickly reduced down to 50 kilowatts. We charged there for 22 minutes and we received 19.73 kilowatt hours. At the Instavolt in Banbury, there's 8 chargers, and the cost there is 35p per kilowatt hour. At these chargers, the car battery was 45%, and it received 76 kilowatts. On the right hand side, you can see the Shell recharge station where we charged for 7 minutes. We received 9.73 kilowatt hours, and the battery was at 39% when I was here, and it was receiving 101 kilowatts. So what did I find out on this trip? I found out that you can get around relatively easy. I used 2 or 3 short stops just to give the battery a boost at the highest possible speed. In this case, I could have stopped at Oxford services or Warwick services, but I chose these off motorway charging locations to see how it would work. That's it for this week. If you have any charging experiences on a long trip, leave them in the comments below and we can take a look. Thanks very much for watching this video. If you like what you see, please press on the subscribe button to be notified of future videos, and give it a like and leave us a comment. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon.